Okay, so our next one is translation. Translation's pretty simple. All we're doing is shifting the object, around. We're not actually rotating it or flipping it or anything like that. We're just moving it. Now, when we move it using directions that are called a vector. All right, a vector basically tells us where to go. And the way the vector is written, it's a set of brackets with two numbers. The first number tells us how far to move to the right, and the second one tells us how far to move up. So, if we have a look at an example, okay, oh, that's a terrible X. Now, remember with this, guys, we are going to be doing it, terrible E as well. We are going to be doing it on graph paper. So I am going to make up a little bit of fake graph paper here. Actually, no, I won't. I'll just dot out some points, okay? So imagine for a second that each one of these points is a centimetre apart from the one next to it, okay? I know they're not really, but let's pretend for a second that they are, and that this is essentially graph paper. So in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to draw my object, and it's just going to be a nice simple little triangle. And then I'm going to move it using a vector. Vector is, I'm going to move it 3, 2. So the first part tells me how far to the right to move. So if I start with this top corner here, I need to move 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. And then the second number 2 means I move 2 up. So I'm going to go 1, 2 up. So this is going to be my point here. I'll mark it with a dot. The bottom left-hand corner, 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2 up. Okay. And then, of course, bottom right goes 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2 up, and it's going to go there. So my image, now you'll note that if I've actually drawn my grid paper out properly, this image will look exactly the same as the original object. My image has moved 3 to the right and 2 up. Note here, guys, that it is possible for these numbers to be negative. If our movement to the right is negative, that means we're moving left. If our movement up is negative, that means we're moving down.